r/AskReddit. What knowledge might save your life one day? Don't swim in Florida waterways at night, dusk, or dawn. Because teeth. But if you should find yourself in the mouth of a hungry gator, don't go for the standard eye poke. Go for the nostril poke. Jamming your finger in their nostril breaks the seal they use to keep water out of their airways when submerged, and they will release you instantly. Just avoid Florida fresh water in general, so you can stay clear of the brain-eating amoebas. Almost no one survives them. Just avoid Florida. If a canker sore in your mouth, or on your tongue, isn't healing in about 2 weeks, it might not be a canker sore. I'm going into surgery today, and they will likely remove 100% of my oral cancer because of early detection. Holy crap. Best of luck.
Claim your free AirPods today by clicking the first link in the description down below.
If you get pulled out into a riptide rip current, thanks/you/Bergie Bidman, at the beach, swim parallel to the shore to work your way out of the riptide rip current before trying to swim back to shore. Fighting against it directly is only going to exhaust you a ton faster. Edit. Wow. Gold. Thanks Anon. Also our mind barks. A slight addendum based on comments. If possible you can swim slightly at an angle towards the shore. The basic point is you don't want to try swimming directly back to shore while still in the rip current. You want to work your way out of the current first. Also, if you are out too far and tired, float on your back for a while before resuming swimming to regain your strength. That saved my life a few years ago. I don't even know how I managed to think about doing that, since my body was already exhausted from swimming against the current. Use a condom. It can save 3 people, you, your partner and the potential child. Pregnancy is the worst STD out there. If you ever get held at gunpoint and asked to get in a vehicle, you fight with everything you've got to not do that. Run zigzag. Punch and kick. Do whatever even if you die in the process. Because 99% of the time, people who get in the car do not come back. Especially if being moved from a public place to a private place. I read a statistical breakdown of what happened when people fled from a possible kidnapper with a gun. I can't remember exactly, but I think it said only 50% of the time will the attacker shoot. And if they do shoot, there's only a 25% chance they will hit you. And if they do hit you, there's only a 10% chance it will be a fatal wound. So in the end there's less than a 1% chance that, if you run you will die. Whereas going with the attacker almost always results in death. Exactly. People get so scared when they see the gun. But in public the odds are in your favor that they won't draw attention to themselves by shooting it. They'd honestly rather find someone else. Trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right then move to the other side of the street, or change direction, or don't go down that dark alley that moans. Also piggybacking off this. In a situation you think might be dangerous, remember to look up. Humans have been conditioned that we have very few predators above us. But that's bullshit if you feel a sudden need to move and you're standing under a scaffolding or something. If you're outside in a lightning storm and your hair starts floating, seek immediate shelter. You're about to be struck by lightning. Holy hit. That was one of my most fearful experiences. It was the middle of the night. I was just walking back to my car from some parking lot. It was a lightning storm outside. Without rain and quite warm outside. Suddenly I felt a bit weird, something was buzzing. My hair started standing up straight. I got this duck gut feeling. Then the lightning struck a tower not all that far away. When in an emergency situation, tell someone to call 911 by pointing at them and saying hey you. In the descriptive shirt, call 911. Shock is a real thing and some people need to be delegated roles explicitly. You there. Control the traffic around the scene. Run to the nearest library or mall and get a defibrillator. You will see a sign of a heart with a lightning bolt through it. Delegate and be descriptive. Get them working for you. Okay, I'll run to the mall. Be back in 30 minutes with the Eid. Okay, I'll run to the mall. Be back in 30 minutes with the Eid and a Wetzel's pretzel. FDFY. Edit. Wow. First time being gilded. Thanks, kind stranger. If only I could treat you to Sparrow in return. Fighting mental health sometimes requires medicine and counseling. Don't be too proud or scared to seek help. There's a wholesome meme that says, if you can't make your own neurotransmitters, store-bought is fine. Kangaroos cannot jump backward. I don't care how drunk you get tonight. You will never forget that. You'll be in Australia 9 years from now. Your friend will get attacked by a kangaroo, and you'll instinctively yell, "Get behind him." Wait. How did I know to say that? Am I a wizard? Have I always been a wizard? Well, then why don't I have a demon? Your demon was taken from you by the Magisterium. You poor dear. You can make emergency calls in Australia 000. Even if you have no credit and no bars of reception on your network, your phone will use any network that's around. Same in the UK. All phones are required by law regardless of provider to dial emergency services. If you're ever caught in an avalanche, you'll be disoriented. People die because they think they are digging to the surface, but end up burying themselves deeper. If you're in that situation, try to spit. If it falls back on your face, you're facing upwards. Also, kangaroos can't jump backwards. Edit. So I guess I'm wrong and this is bad advice. Don't listen to it. Reddit is much smarter than me explained that you will not be able to dig your way out. My kangaroo statement still stands though. Duck that hit. If you are in the mountains in a place that has even the slightest chance of an avalanche, get a duck-eye beacon. Edit. Since this got some attention, if you're going in the mountains, I also recommend looking into an avalanche flotation device. Would probably help with them kangaroos too, which inflates and protects you from the snow and trees etc. and helps keep you closer to the surface. Also look into an avalanche snorkel. It will allow you to breathe under the snow and giving rescuers more time to find you. If attacked by a kangaroo during an avalanche, just kiss your ass goodbye. Lol, I signed in just to say this carrot this is the real LBT. Get a damn beacon so when they realize you're trapped they can actually find you and dig you out before you suffocate to death. That, and if you're backcountry skiing, get an avalanche flotation device. They now have auto-inflate airbags built into ski bags. You pull the ripcord / they detect an avalanche and they inflate in about 1/1000th of a second. This works the same way as a life jacket in the water. It keeps some of you towards the surface of the slide, keeping you off the rocks / trees that are tangled in the snow mass, and also allowing you to not be buried beneath 20 feet of snow. 2 animal ones. 1. If you are scuba / freediving, and a giant octopus grabs hold of you, do not try to pry him off of you. He has more arms than you, and more ways to hold you. Focus on getting him off his anchor point, rock, pipe, whatever. He can't pull you in and pull you down without using the leverage from his anchor. 2. If you are being chased by a swarm of bees, do not jump into a lake or other body of water to escape. This isn't a cartoon. The bees will simply wait above the water to sting you. And now you have created a situation where you move slower, can't breathe as well, and suffer worse if the toxins affect you. You may even swallow a bunch of bees gasping for air. Also, water has unseen predators that you've now introduced to the equation. If pursued by bees, just keep running and running. They will defend their hive to a large proximity, perhaps even a mile. Just run until they feel they've won. If you're diving in areas where an octopus large enough to constrict you is a possibility, why wouldn't you take a knife with you as well? Because the octopus will have at least 7 knives, not 8, as he still has to hang on to his anchor rock. Edit. Thanks for the gold, Reddit. You're the real cephalopods today. Your best bet in knocking a person out is to strike the side of their neck. Normally with a karate chop. A striking blow on the side of the neck requires the least amount of force than any other body part to create a blackout. And the person will pass out for 10 to 30 seconds before regaining conciseness. Dude, I hate when people regain conciseness. Those succinct methodicas. How to recognize a stroke fast. Facial droop, eyelid, lip, nose, whatever. Arm numbness / weakness. Slurred speech. Time to call 911. We only have limited time to save your brain if you're having an ischemic stroke. The more time that you lose, the more brain that you lose. After 3 hours of the onset of symptoms, we can't give you TPA, which is the strongest clot buster. Call 911 and tell them you or your loved one is having a stroke. This is so that the ambulance will know to take you to the nearest certified stroke center if there is one in your region. If there is not a nearby stroke center, the local hospital should at least be alerted of what's coming in so they can start preparing transportation arrangements. Edit. T can also stand for time symptoms started. Someone doesn't need to be experiencing all of these symptoms before you call 911. FAST is also not an exhaustive, all-inclusive list of stroke symptoms. It's just meant to be a catchy way for laypersons to remember some of the big ones quickly, especially if the person has no previous history of these symptoms. Also, you won't be able to poke your tongue out straight. It will go off to one side, if that makes sense. If you find mysterious notes, go outside and yell meter really loud. Then get your carbon monoxide checked. Thought I'd be on fire more often. Stop, drop and roll is embedded in my brain as much as my knowledge of how to draw an F in cursive. Yeah, but F is easily the most fun letter. Lowercase z is pretty cool too. Calm people live, and panicked people die. And sometimes panicking people take calm people down with them. Case in point, drowning. There are 100 ways to break a stranglehold. YouTube vids. Self-defense classes, the works. Despite what many think, thanks movies. A stranglehold doesn't just stop you breathing in, giving you as long as you can hold your breath for. You'll be unconscious in much less time than that. Think about make or break is probably 5 seconds. What if they can dodge your stamp? If their arms are too long to reach their groin? Or if they are too strong to dead weight? The only one that seems it would work despite any size/strength difference is breaking the pinky. You wedge your thumbs in and bend that pinky until it touches their wrist. I don't think anyone could maintain a grip with a couple of their fingers pointing in the wrong direction. Edit. It's interesting to read so many different views. From medical/biological standpoint. And from self-defense training. I wish to some extent that self-defense was more widely known/taught. Next week it will be 4 years ago that I lost a friend. She was strangled in a car park. Guy took €20 and used her car for a couple of days before he was found. Strangleholds in general are more to restrain blood flow than to restrain airflow are fake. Effective ones. Yes. Blood chokes are faster than air chokes. And also safer. Assuming you aren't actually intending to kill your victim. But if you are, blood chokes would still be better because they'd be knocked out, and killing an unconscious person is much easier than a conscious one, I imagine. If I'm lost in the woods, find a stream. Follow it downstream to a river. Follow that downstream. Eventually I'd reach civilization. Hopefully before night. Because then I'd die for sure. A lot people think I'll die. Which is true. I'm not usually hiking in super remote places off the trail either. My logic is that streams lead to rivers. Rivers lead to oceans. People tend to settle near water. Sooner or later you'll see signs of civilization. Power lines. Roads. Something if you can't stay put. For instance, I know if you're stuck on the Toshenshini River in winter and go downstream, you'll have a 200-mile hike down river and just reach a bay with no people. So if you're hiking in really remote places way off the grid, you shouldn't be taking survival tips from random redditors. I thought that if you get lost in the woods you're supposed to stay put. Is this wrong? Yes. If you are somewhere where people are likely to find you, national parks. Planned hiking trip, if you can reasonably expect someone to come looking, stay put. If you survive a plane crash in a jungle, or you are an idiot who goes into the woods without telling people, follow the river. Edit. Okay. Plane was a bad suggestion. I forgot about the black box. Replace it with fall off a jungle tour truck. If you feel uneasy like someone is watching you, someone or something, animal, likely may be watching/stalking you. Trust your gut feeling. Your brain picks up on things subconsciously that you do not notice. Now you've just made me paranoid that someone is watching me while I'm home alone. Well, you should obviously grab a weapon and sit in the dark waiting for them now.